What it do, fam? It's your boy D, and I'm back with another video. And I'm going to be discussing, you know, about the case in Las Vegas when the young man, Diabra Redden, attacked Judge Mary Kay Holthus, how he leaped over the podium and literally attacked her. I mean, but thing is, with that being said, this is the picture right here. Excuse me, but of the judge and Judge Holzhoff, am I pronouncing Holthaus, and Redding. Now, as he was talking during this case, he was, saying that he was trying to get himself back on track and that he, suffered from mental illness and everything and so on. And basically, when somebody go through mental illness, and they don't take their medicine, yes, they are subject to snap and can be, very dangerous. Especially if you have bipolar or schizophrenia, and then you've been going through now, you'll hear in the upcoming interview where his sister, they interview his sister after, his sentencing. And, I think he's gotten like maybe about 12 to 48, 48, what's that, months or something like that, the sentence. But the thing is, be honest with you, I don't think he should, prison is not going to do it for him because, he really needs to be institutionalized. This is my opinion. And I noticed his sister has stated that in an interview I'm going to show y'all. So, because the fact is that, I feel that he should be institutionalized and his medicine should be adjusted. So, I mean, because of the fact he do suffer from mental illness. And I'm going to show you the story, and I'm going to let you hear the interview from his sister. And just hold tight. And we'll come back and talk about it a little more.
Mr. Almasi's here now.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing. When we were last here, arguments were concluded and the court had begun to pronounce sentence when an incident occurred, an incident initiated by Mr. Redden, preventing the court from completing sentencing. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing. Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred last Wednesday will be handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. I am making my calendar page from that day an exhibit for the court. As it existed the moment I walked in, prior to anything happening, nothing's been changed, indicating the sentence I intended to impose. Although I do it back for a moment. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. How much credit for time served does he have?
It's 0 days. He was on probation when he committed the offense and was revoked on probation to serve the jail time October 25th. That time it expired at about the time of the plea. So
0 days credit. Mr. Almasi, if that's just different, let us know and we'll fix it.
I will.
The motion to quash mandatory is moved at this point. And for the record, I just reflexively wrote 0 days credit time served on the notes exhibit that I just said. So that is in addition as of right now.
That's correct. The probation case number, just for the record, is C370775.
Thank you. Thank you.
Page 33.
Now you see in the courtroom as they were sentencing him, the same judge in different trial, sentencing him this time, they had him like pretty much muzzled and his hands, bound, and he was chained. So, the same thing couldn't repeat itself. So if you notice that, excuse me, that, they had him shackled and everything. And they had all these, guards around this time. They had some big guys around him this time. One on each side and one in front. So, the repeat couldn't happen. So, I mean, they really, really locked down on him really tough. So he wouldn't, go through that again. But he stood there. He was chilled. But, they was taking precautionary measurements at this time. Now, I want you to hear what the sister has to say. And leave your comments.
Relationship.
I'm his sister.
So can you just tell us, we've only seen the video, so tell us about he's your half brother, right?
No, he's my whole
He's your
brother.
full brother. So tell us about your brother and the brother that we haven't seen. Who is he like? What is he like? And how did he get in this situation?
Well, he's basically born with mental illness. He was born with crack cocaine in his system. So his chance in life was taken at birth. Deep inside, he's a good person. He's just not had the opportunity in life to be surrounded by positive people, meaning his own family. I can see that my brother just felt betrayed at the time when he was pleading and saying that he was in a better place, which is different for us all to be in a better place. I mean, when we struggle from mental illness, it's a chemical imbalance, just as most addicts have chemical imbalances out there who wants to stop using, who can't. It's something that we suffer from. I don't think sending him to prison is going to deter anybody who suffers from a mental illness. They need to be surrounded by healthcare professionals who can treat him and so that he gets the right treatment that he needs.
He's been in and out of mental health court, so now he's going to go to prison on this thing, right? You were saying to me when we were walking down here, you don't think that that's going to help him in any way?
It's not, because the people in prison are trained to, for prisoners. They're not trained for people who suffers from mental illnesses. So he will not get the proper treatment that he needs.
This case went internationally viral. How has your family been dealing with that?
Well, we've all just been thinking more, of our rights as individuals. And anybody whose mind is not of a normal person should not be judged in a manner of a person who's normal like you and myself. He tried to speak for himself, which I just think he shouldn't have never been allowed to take the stand or speak on his own behalf because of his condition.
What was your thought when you saw this video that went viral? I mean, obviously you're talking about your brother.
Yes, I just think his reactions were not premeditated. It was triggered because he seemed to have been pleading for his freedom. He has been off his psych meds since he got out of jail, but because he doesn't have an appointment until March of this year, so he has not taken anything at all. And I think when the judge says, it's time for you to get a taste of, became a trigger, and in his mind, he felt threatened. We all have the capabilities to do what Deopra did, and that is to leap that high when our fight or flight mechanism response is triggered when we're threatened. We can jump that high. We can leap that high. So in his mind, it's realistic that his life was feeling threatened, and that's what happened.
Do you think that if this verse didn't say that last line, that this would be a different story?
I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that because it was that statement that was the trigger.
Have you had any communication with him since Wednesday?
No, I haven't.
I have, and actually, once we found out that he didn't appear in court on that day, my mind automatically went to, what did you do to him? Where is he at? When I came, media everywhere, and I go over to the jail, and I'm trying to do the visits, and there's no visitation for him at this moment. Then why? Where is he? He hasn't called, but apparently Tony Abatangelo, a good attorney that I know, was able to access someone from the inside to actually call, and they called me last night. And I explained to Deopra, like, it's not a circus. What you did, no way do we condone it, but I know your struggles, and I know the voices that you hear, and I just felt I tried to soothe them and, say, just come to court and, whatever's handed down, just take it. Like, what else can you really truly do? But I just felt like to even be going back in front of her courtroom, that was totally biased. Like, why? What, you want to send a message or what? Same time, he's like she said, he suffers from mental illness. It's always been documented. It's always been stated. Even when I got him from the foster care system at the age of 12, it was documented that he was severely emotionally disturbed. By the time he was 18, he left and branched out on his own. But every day, like he said, he's trying to do better. He just got released November of 2023, 6 weeks ago, something like that. He just got an apartment, did everything right, was in contact with parole and probation. He was released to them in their custody. So now you saying you finna send him back? But since in his mind, he didn't think he was going back. He was ready to go to work the following day. As we sat in the courtroom, he got a dispatch from the Teamsters. He was just in a better place. And like you said, I just feel it's true.
Do you think that this will, essentially him being sentenced, will undo all the work that he's done to repair his mental state?
No, definitely not. It's only going to put him in a worse state of mind because the system has failed him, and that's how he feels. That's how he feels that since the system fails him, so he's going to come out with that mentality and go forward in life, knowing that he has pleaded everything that he can, and being in a better place is different for us all. If he can be in a better place for a month, 30 days, for him, that's a lot.
As a sister, as a mom, what was it like to see him in the spit mask and the scratch?
Of course, I cried. But even from the moment that he leaped and he jumped, and this lady right here is my witness, and she was in the courtroom on that day also. My first thought of mine was, please don't kill him. You know what I mean? Please, like, it shocked me, just as it shocked everybody else. Like, oh my God, I went to a state of shock. You know what I mean? So it was heartbreaking, really, to see him. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's about his mental state. You know what I mean? His mental, like, we just seem to forget that.
And in his eyes, he doesn't even understand that what he did was wrong because he feels like he's just protecting his life. And any of us, if our life is threatened, we're going to react in two different ways.
And his mental diagnosis is what?
Schizophrenia, bipolar.
So he's completely mentally ill, right?
He has manic phases.
Completely ill.
So even so, the night before he had court, I guess he didn't really sleep because when I picked him up to come to court, I noticed he was in there. I'm like, who are you talking to, Dio? He's like, oh, nobody. I said, because as a kid, I used to tell him, like, don't start with those voices. Like, I would kind of soothe him, like, get the voices out your head. Come on, it's time to get up. It's time to go to school. It's time to do that just to keep him focused. But as he got older and he got put on the medication, I seen where he was much calmer. Because I believe so. They gave him his first dose of medication yesterday while in jail.
Wow.
His first dose he said he had taken, and I could just tell in his voice that he was calmer and he didn't really realize the magnitude of how, what happened. Right. Like I said, I didn't even feel it's funny, it's a joke. You know what I mean? I didn't
And
even
that should
realize.
be overlooked, like the judge said, like, oh well,
He just
this is, you got a history of this, well, it's part of his life, and who he is.
And Miss Karen, you're his foster mother. And how many children do you have?
I fostered him and his siblings. Actually, four.
How did you guys plan on supporting him in his journey now that he will be behind bars? How do you guys intend on supporting
I've
him?
always supported him, and I've always supported him, but he'll tell you if anybody's number is the same as mine. Whenever he's, trouble or whatever, pick up the phone. And like I say, I'm here to court for support. I actually taken off work. My employer allowed, me to be here. It's all about me supporting him, but, whatever he needs, I'm a phone call away. So, but the main thing is to make sure that he's getting the proper care.
Yeah, I plan on helping him understand his mental condition because he doesn't understand what he suffers from.
So outside of him suffering from that episode, how would you describe his normal disposition?
Oh, he's a sweetheart. He is the sweetest young man. He will lend his arm to help someone. He will give his arm up for sure.
As a family, have you guys been discussing what the next steps are looking like?
I mean, what you think? I guess tomorrow is another episode? With like I say, he had 4 charges. Now they jumped to 15, 16, like extortion, really, like I said, no disrespect. We don't condone what he did. As far as everybody, see what he did? No, he didn't do that to the bailiff. The bailiff did that to himself.
And if you're not in your right state of mind, is it you or is it the sickness or the illness?
My name is Karen Denise Springer. Please spell it for us. Springer, Karen, Karen. You want Denise? Denise, Denise, Springer, Springe.
Is there anything else you guys want to add?
That was so very courageous of you guys to step up and take, it was not an easy thing. I was initially in the courthouse and you could just see he snapped and it was mental illness. Unfortunately, that's the way sometimes things go. The mental illness.
And how old was he when he went to your life?
Thank you.
He had
Thank you. That was very brave.
Teamsters.
He had a Teamster 631. I just paid for his dues to get paid, so he was ready to go to work.
So what was the nature of the work? Was it
It's like labor board, extra board, they call it.
extra? So labor.
Yeah.
Construction.
What is your name again?
LaDonna
LaDonna.
Daniels.
How do you spell LaDonna? How do you spell it?
LaDonna.
And Daniel.
Daniels.
LaDonna.
Now there you have it. His sister was saying, that, he was born with mental illness. But see, the thing is that he was born under, crack, his mother was obviously must have been a crack addict or something when he was born. So, how they say, in other words, he was a crack baby. And these things affected him. And so, and she said a lot of the same things I said, that prison is not going to really do him too much justice because they don't have the proper care for anyone with mental illness that suffers with mental illness like his in prison. You know what I'm saying? And that, my thing is, me in my opinion, I think he should be institutionalized, and they should, make sure that he's on his meds and that he is, that they balance his meds out or something. Because, when I was watching the trial, the first time, when the judge was attacked, there were some trigger points within him. I mean, he was started off calm, but the moment she started, speaking and her body language and, the way she said it, obviously, I think it's something that triggered off within him. And however it was, he leaped like this character, Cheetah, from DC Comics, from the Wonder Woman of DC Comics, as she combats Wonder Woman. He leaped over that thing just the way she came out. Like, you see how the pose is right there. He leaped out like that. I mean, like superhuman, like, unbelievable. I mean, it's just, man, it's just, that was adrenaline. But the thing is, people with mental problems develop a certain amount of strength and a certain amount of, energy or adrenaline where they can do things, and they become strong. I mean, everything. But one thing I'm going to say, it requires prayer. Now, I remember in an interview before that his guardian that was with his sister, she had said that he hadn't taken his medicine. So right there, that tells you right there, when a person don't take that medicine and they suffer with mental illness, especially if they have schizophrenic or bipolar or something, they're going to snap at any time, at any given time. If anything triggers them off, you see what I'm saying? So we have to, realize and look at that. Because when I saw the interview from Pryor, when he testified, I could see actually a sincerity in his testimony that he was trying to do better, and he confessed that he had mental illness and that he's trying to get himself back on track, and he had got a job and everything. But like I said, when the judge began to speak and her body language and everything, and the way she said it, that's what triggered him off. And it sent him in like a rage. It's like a bull looking at a red sheet or something, and he's going to go for it. That don't excuse what he did. You know what I'm saying? That was totally wrong. But the thing is, and I don't condone it, but I feel in my spirit that, yeah, he should be institutionalized, and they should adjust his medication, put him back on his medication or adjust it or something, because, he can become dangerous just like that. Now, what if those, my thing is, what if they weren't there? He could have killed that woman. He really could have. I mean, he banged her head against the wall and pulled her hair, to my understanding. But he really could have killed her. But with that being said, I'm just saying, we just got to pray. Pray that, that, he get the proper help that he needs. Because, I mean, like I said, only God can help. And I've known some people with mental illness, and how they can it can trigger them off, and they can really get violent or trip, but like I just said, sometimes, like I said, when they're on medication and they just stop taking their medicines, things happen. And just pray and keep it going. Yeah, we just got to pray. We got to pray and pray the best for, everybody. Pray, the best for the judge. Pray for the best for, young man Redding. Pray for the whole situation, because, I mean, it's a difficult situation because of the fact that, like I said, things got to be looked at on, both perspectives. But like I said, not excuse him for what he did. What he did was wrong, and was out of pocket. But like I said, he's suffering from mental illness, and he wasn't taking his medication, like he should, and like I said, my heart goes out to him. My prayers going out to him. my heart goes out to the judge, and prayers going out to her as well. So, like I said, leave your comments and, and let me know what your opinion is on this. And like I said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And to the next video, we'll talk to you in a little bit. And what I just want you to know, anything that's difficult or out of your control, let go and let God do it, because he's in full control. And make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. So let's make it a great day. And until we meet again, talk to you later. God bless you. I love you, love you, love you, and peace.